now, but I got a couple things I want to talk about. I'm going to try to come back again later on this evening, so be on the lookout for a live like I did on Monday. This is just a little teaser, about what we're going to be talking about, because someone has to let these Gentiles and these people who have been cleaving to white Jesus know the truth. So it's not going to be 99% of these people out here not going to tell you guys the truth. The truth is, what you're seeing is judgment. Now, yesterday I don't even listen to Paul from Off Grid Desert Prepper very often, but I happened, again, divination, as you guys want to call it, just happened to jump on his video, and it took me right to the part where the Most High wanted me to listen. And he said, these fires out there in California, they're not judgment. If it was a flame of fire or whatever else that came from the sky and came down directly and hit these houses, then that would be judgment from the Most High. But since it wasn't that, and it was probably someone started the fire, then that means it wasn't judgment. We'll tell that to all the families that had everything taken away from them. Go ahead and let them know that, hey, you know what? Hey, luckily for you, the rapture hasn't happened yet. So all these bad things that are happening to us, they're not really judgment. That's not really, that's not what judgment looks like. Unless it's some supernatural event, it's really not judgment. Sorry, family. See, now you know how we feel. Because see, after all these things that have been happening to us for the last 400 plus years, since 1492 here on our lands, these Europeans have been telling us the same thing. Oh, this isn't judgment. This is just bad decision making. These bad things have been happening to you. It's just, it happens to everybody. It's not really judgment. It happens to everybody. Everybody's been a slave. Everybody's been through chattel slavery. Oh man, you know what? That fire, it didn't come from the sky. It came from an arsonist, supposedly. I'm like, how do you even know? How can you guys even be saying what it is when you don't even know? The fires are still going. But see, that's all about shiftingness. I was listening to this video, and look, which is what you guys gotta understand. Sorry, family. You vassals in the middle. This is really what's aiming at you. See, they've been telling us forever that this is not, that when all the cursing we've been going through the slavery, that's not. Well, they were telling us it was a curse. It was a curse of Cain. It was the curse of Ham. All of a sudden now there's no cursing. There's no judgment. Because see, to admit that these are judgments, then you have to admit that your religions have been lying to you about Jesus. This is why you have to always say, Jesus died for my sins. Jesus died for my sins, because of this quote right here. Now, it's going to come from this book, and we're going to get into this book because it's let you know some great information and understanding of the so-called white man, as well as your vassals. Look, you understand, all these people are like, I've been in this house for generations. They're showing a Latino family, and I've been here for generations. I've been here for like 50 years, 60 years. Well, that means then you knew about the racist policies that were going on before, and you said nothing. You know about all the racist policies that you guys all thought to be considered white because you didn't want to be considered Negro. So you knew the benefits of being considered white. You knew that's how you were able to buy those houses. You knew all about that. You knew about redlining. You knew about how they gave you an opportunity to buy houses and buy property. They knew about the so-called black people, the blasphemers who, hey man, I'm gonna walk away from my people, and I'll do anything to go against my own people so long as you let me be part of your system. Now, I want to read something right here from Malcolm X. Okay? Malcolm X, Elijah Muhammad, okay? It says, do you know why, he asked, the white man really hates you? The white man has really hated us, and he's going to tell us to our faces that no, he hasn't. He's loved us all because white Jesus loves everybody. But we already know that that's not true. Just like all these lies. Oh, yeah, no, man. No, Jesus loves everybody. John 3:16, Galatians 3:28. Yeah, okay. You're getting that right now. John 3:16, Galatians 3:28. That's what you guys are getting. How, as you've done to us, is now being done to you. Okay, but listen. Do you know why he asked the white man really hates you? It's because every time he sees your face, he sees a mirror of his crime. And his guilty conscience can't bear to face it. Every time you see this face, you see your crime. And your conscience can't bear to face it. And that goes with your breakdown of the Bible right now. Every time you see my face and you see these videos right here, your conscience can't bear it. Because you know all the horrible things that have been done to us. So every time you see our faces, not the blassos that are already down with you, but the ones that aren't down with you, the ones that are especially now bringing this information out, bringing this understanding out, telling you what is really going on. You're always going to say it's not judgment, because that's what your whole religion has been set up to say, that you are never going to have to pay for your crimes. But now you're trying to say that these fires were not prophecy, or not. It's not prophecy. It's not judgment. You know, I've been seeing that from a lot of pastors. I've been seeing it now from even people online. Oh, well, the fire didn't come directly out of the sky, so therefore it wasn't judgment. See, the Egyptians did exactly the same thing. Oh, when Moses turned the Nile red, oh, it was because of something that happened, thousands of miles away, and this red dye came in the water at that time. Oh, we can do the same, we can do the same things. You can bring frogs. We can do the same thing. Oh, you guys can, do this. Oh, we can do that too. See, because you guys are always trying to explain away judgment. You're trying to explain away that you have to pay. Every time you looked in those Hebrew eyes in the book of Exodus, you were like, someday we're going to have to pay. Just like that famous politician who said, like, I mourn for like my people, because I know that eventually the Most High is going to, recompense us, the American. I'm not sure which one it was. Benjamin Franklin. Like, I mourn for my people because I know that the Most High is just. That God, as they say, is just. Yes. So every time you see my face, your conscience is telling you that God, your God, or the maker of the universe, the Most High, is just. And we are going to have to pay for what we've done to his people, and your conscience can't bear it. Now, you people who have been cleaving to white Jesus, you wanted to be considered white, you are now getting your Negro treatment. Because when the guy was talking about how his house burned down, and he had like his granddaughters living with him, like 3 of his grandkids living with him, and he can't bear to tell them that their home is gone. And he said, and at the end there was a footnote that said, well, their insurance said that they're not going to cover any of their house, their damages for the house, because their payment was late. Their payment was late. So therefore, we're not going. I know you've been making payments for years, but your payment was late. So now we're not going to give you money to rebuild. Welcome to being a Negro. See, that's what happens when you guys go do your own history. Go do your own research. You don't need this is exactly how we were treated the whole time. The whole time. They're looking for any reason not to not to pay. Okay? So something that was hilarious this is judgment. So you guys, you go so-called white people, you pastors, you priests, go ahead and let those people know, the thousands and thousands of people that just lost their homes, let them know that, this really wasn't judgment. This isn't judgment. This is just bad luck. See, this is why there's going to be more and more people starting to cleave to the Most High. Because, see, you got your dainties, and you got to enjoy your dainties, and now the Most High just and within one, evening, just destroyed those dainties that the Europeans gave you. And now they're going to tell you that, oh, well, this isn't judgment. Hey, man, we're still here. We haven't gotten raptured, so judgment hasn't began yet. Judgment is here. And again, every time you look at my face or someone that looks like me, you're going to be like, your conscience is going to be like, well, we did this to them. Would it not be fair if it happens to us? Would it not be fair if it didn't happen to us or doesn't happen to us? That's what your conscience has always been telling you. That's why you've got to always say Jesus. Jesus. Jesus died for my sins. Like Paul said, hey, man, everybody sins, but someone's got to pay. Do you want to pay for your own sins? You don't want to pay for your own sins, and say Jesus. That's exactly why you got to go to church every single week. That's why you got to go to church all the time. That's why you got to be having white Jesus shoved down your throat, because you see us every day. And every day you know that, hey man, we've been treating these people horribly. We've been unfair to them. We've never made things right with these people. So now you're looking in the mirror of your crimes. And everybody is guilty. This is the whole thing. You're all guilty, okay? Because you've just been watching it. Silence is compliance. You've been sitting there just watching what's happened to us. And now these people, they have no understanding, your pastors. So all they can say is, well, this isn't judgment because, well, the rapture hasn't happened yet. There is no rapture. You're going to stay right here and you're going to deal with these things. While you're watching us go through all of our stuff, you're like, well, I got my house. I'm good. I've been here for 40 years. I've been here for 50 years. Paid it off, handed it down from generation to generation. And we talk, and you'll hear someone else like us talking about the things that have happened. Well, you should have listened. You should have worked harder. I worked hard for everything I got. Well, we didn't work hard for what? We didn't work hard. We haven't worked hard. You should have listened to the police officers, or else you wouldn't have got shot. Oh, you should have followed the rules, or you would have been able to be living here with me. Okay. See, the Most High has been watching you. This is why certain people's houses burned down. Certain people's houses haven't burned down. But the thing is that just because their house didn't burn down doesn't mean that there's not going to be other ailments. That's the thing with this, is there's other curses that are going to be coming. There's going to be other things that are going to be taken away. That's what you're seeing right now. I already showed you plenty of verses that prove my point in the Bible and hidden books and the Apocrypha, because it's all saying the same thing. After the Most High's people go through their judgment, then the Most High turns his face away. When he was looking at you guys when we were going through our judgment, the Most High was looking at you and giving you the blessing for a time. Now the Most High says he's going to turn his face back to us, which means now the blessings come back to us, and now you go through the curses. So, I mean, seeing all these people crying on television about how they've lost everything. See, at first they were like, oh, God's got us. God's got a plan, blah, 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 blah. Wait a couple weeks. When you're still sitting there and you're making phone calls to this person and that person and they're not calling you back. When you're calling the insurance company and they're calling you back. When they're telling you still got to pay a mortgage on a pile of heap and rubble. They want their car payment when your car is burned down. When all of the society still keeps going. See, society's going to be there for a little while, and then they're going to fall right back into their slumber. Because remember, we talked about that, how this society is. They get up, they do certain things for a little bit, and then they fall back into sleep. They get up, they do a little something, and they fall back asleep. Society's going to fall asleep on you. They're gonna turn their backs on you because it's going to be a new shiny, thing going on, and that's what they're going to start to talk about. And they're going to leave you all alone. And they're not going to care, because that's exactly what happened to us, except they never got riled up about doing anything good for us. They just stayed asleep and they just ignored us. So again, we are the mirror of your crimes, and it is killing your conscience. And now we're going to be here constantly reminding you Because now, I mean, as now you start to descend, we are ascending, and we are the only light. We are the only Bible you guys are really going to ever see. Because we are the only ones, we are the people of the book. We are the light of the world. So therefore, we're going to be the only one that's going to be able to give direction and understanding in these trying times. Be on the lookout for more videos later on, family. Later on today. Shalom.